Have you ever wondered how a small region could become the epicenter of a decades-long conflict between two nations? Nestled in the South Caucasus, the mountainous region of Nagorno Karabakh occupies a strategic position between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Predominantly inhabited by ethnic Armenians, this territory, however, is internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan. The seeds of discord were sown early in the 20th century, when both newly formed nations laid claim to the region. The conflict over Nagorno Karabakh has a long and convoluted history, with tensions flaring up and subsiding intermittently over the years. The fight for control over this small area has seen periods of intense warfare, followed by tentative ceasefires, only to erupt again into open conflict, each time leaving a trail of devastation and human suffering in its wake. The struggle over Nagorno Karabakh has drawn in regional powers, each lending their support to one side or the other, further complicating the dynamics of this dispute. As we delve deeper, we will unravel the complex history of this ongoing war. To understand the roots of this war, we need to travel back to the early 20th century. Nestled between the great empires of the time, the region of Nagorno Karabakh found itself under the rule of the Ottoman Empire. However, despite its geopolitical location, the region was predominantly inhabited by Armenians, a group distinct in culture, language, and religion from the ruling Turks. With the collapse of the Ottoman Empire and the subsequent emergence of the Soviet Union, the borders in the Caucasus were redrawn. In a move that puzzled many, Nagorno Karabakh, with its largely Armenian population, was designated as part of Soviet Azerbaijan. This decision, often attributed to the divide and rule tactics of Joseph Stalin, sowed the seeds of discord between the Armenians and Azeris. Over the years, as the ethnic Armenian majority yearned for union with Armenia, the Azeris, bolstered by their Soviet Azerbaijani administration, sought to consolidate their control over the region. This led to a demographic tug-of-war, with both sides trying to strengthen their claims through population changes. However, it wasn't just about numbers. Political decisions played a pivotal role too. The Soviet Union's policy of korenizatsiya, or nativization, aimed at promoting local languages and cultures. This policy, while fostering national identities, also heightened ethnic tensions as both Armenians and Azeris sought to assert their cultural dominance in Nagorno Karabakh. The tension finally boiled over with the collapse of the Soviet Union. As newly independent nations, Armenia and Azerbaijan found themselves locked in a bitter struggle over this contentious piece of land. The desire for self-determination clashed with the principle of territorial integrity, leading to a full-blown war in the early 1990s. This historical mismatch of political boundaries and ethnic identities set the stage for the conflict we see today. The flames of war were ignited in the late 1980s, and they have been burning ever since. This conflict, steeped in history, has seen its fair share of tumultuous turns. As the Soviet Union collapsed in the early 90s, tensions between Armenia and Azerbaijan over Nagorno Karabakh escalated into a full-scale war. The region, although within Azerbaijan's borders, was predominantly populated by ethnic Armenians, leading to a bitter and violent struggle for control. The war raged on for several years, marked by intense fighting and heavy casualties on both sides. The international community watched with concern as the conflict escalated, but it wasn't until 1994 that a ceasefire was brokered, although the region remained a hotbed of tension. Fast forward to 2020, and the conflict ignited once again. This time, however, the dynamics had shifted. On one side, Turkey, a rising regional power, threw its weight behind Azerbaijan. The support was not just diplomatic. Turkish-made drones played a significant role in Azerbaijan's military strategy. This brought a new dimension to the conflict. The use of autonomous drones, capable of attacking without human intervention, marked a potentially new era of warfare. The world watched as the battlefield changed, raising complex questions about the future of war and the role of technology in it. Meanwhile, Russia, a traditional ally of Armenia, found itself walking a tightrope. Balancing its delicate relationships with both Armenia and Azerbaijan, Russia sought to mediate, but the tensions proved too deep, the historical wounds too raw. The war has left deep scars on both sides, and a lasting solution seems elusive. Despite ceasefires and negotiations, the undercurrents of the Nagorno Karabakh conflict remain strong. The course of the war has been shaped by external actors, technological advances, and a complex web of historical and political factors. As we look to the future, the question remains: can a path to lasting peace be found? The war has taken a toll not only on the soldiers at the front lines, but also on the ordinary people living in the region. The aftermath of the Nagorno-Karabakh war has been a humanitarian crisis, with countless lives lost and families displaced. Homes, schools, and hospitals have been left in ruins, and the scars of the war can be seen on the faces of the people and the land. The ongoing negotiations for peace are a glimmer of hope in this backdrop of despair. The talks are complex, involving a delicate dance of diplomacy, political will, and the desire for justice. The international community has a crucial role to play in this process. The support of powerful nations and international organizations can help ensure the negotiations are fair and lead to a sustainable resolution. The future prospects for Nagorno-Karabakh are uncertain, but there is an unyielding aspiration for peace. This aspiration is driven by the people's desire to rebuild their lives, to heal from the wounds of the war, and to secure a safe and prosperous future for their children. The path to peace is long and winding, but it is the only way to ensure a better future for the people of Nagorno-Karabakh. The journey may be fraught with challenges, but the pursuit of peace is a testament to the resilience and determination of the people. Their story is a reminder that even in the darkest times, the human